Great to have you here. Before we get started, I just want to alert everyone to an important video that you just recorded that will not be available to the public. Here you discuss the upcoming geopolitical shockwave of what you call the most significant development in international finance since 1971, but then explain how anyone can position themselves to profit from this crisis. Our viewers can access that video at londonreal.tv/Jim, and I highly recommend that everyone go watch that immediately after our conversation. Jim, I just came back from Singapore last week where I bumped into our good friend, Robert Kiyosaki. He sends his regards. And he pulled me up on stage in front of about 1,000 people. I was there for a crypto conference. And we started talking about the demise of the dollar. We quoted your name throughout because you really are an expert on this. And I found myself talking about the BRICS nations, talking about the adoption recently of Saudi Arabia, Iran, and other places, something that you've talked extensively about. Last time you were here, you went into detail, but I'm curious, Jim, do you see more developments happening in that kind of BRICS plus group? You've even said 3.6 billion people, 45% of the total population of the earth. What do people need to know about this group, and how does it affect the dollar and all currencies in the future?
Sure, Brian. Glad to talk about that. By the way, it's nice to hear from Robert. Glad he's doing well. That story reminds me. I was once at it was kind of like a private party, but a fairly large group. And Don Henley and his band were playing, but Glenn Fry was sitting in the audience, like in the front row. And at a certain point, Don goes, "Hey, Glenn, come on up here." And they plugged in a guitar, and it was like the Eagles all over again. So that's kind of like you going on stage with Robert. I'm sure the audience loved it. Yeah, the BRICS. It's funny. There was like a branding exercise going on because it was originally BRIC, small s, because it was Brazil, Russia, India, China. Then when they added South Africa, it was like capital S, like, okay, BRICS sounds good. But then they added 6 new members at the most recent summit meeting, Leaders Summit at the end of August. I think it was August 22nd. So then the problem is you keep adding letters, you end up like LGBT, whatever that is, like LMNOP or something. And I was like, I was calling it BRICS Plus, but that was just me making it up because it worked. But the name BRICS 11 seems to have caught on because there are now 11 members, the original, 4 plus 1 plus the 6 new ones. And then that's flexible because they add 5 more. It'll be the BRICS 17 and end up passing the G20. It's funny how the G20 has really been eclipsed by the BRICS 11 plus the waiting list. The G20 meeting in New Delhi, President Xi of China did not show up. President Putin of Russia did not show up. Other leaders were there, but a lot of times the benefit of those meetings is not just the formal sessions and the final communique, but they have all these side meetings, bilateral, kind of impromptu summit conferences, etc. But Xi did not want to talk to Biden, won't talk to Biden, won't return his phone calls, didn't want to be in the room with Biden because that would have been really difficult to avoid. And Putin didn't show up because he knew he'd be snubbed. The members of the G20, the G7 members of the G20 would all snub him. Why set yourself up for that? It makes no sense. But here you have the largest population in the world and one of the 3 largest energy producers in the world, and they don't go to the G20. So that tells you something. And then it's not clear Xi's going to show up for I think there's an ASEAN summit coming up. There's definitely something big in I think Vancouver sooner than later. Not clear. Oh, sorry, San Francisco. I was wrong about that. I wouldn't go to San Francisco anyway, so just for personal safety reasons. But looks like Xi's going to skip that. So Xi's not traveling much. The fact that he did go to Johannesburg for the BRICS summit, however, tells you that was his one trip, and he made a point of being there. So that tells you something very significant. So the G20 is being eclipsed. G7, good luck. Germany's in recession. UK is right on the edge. U.S. growth is slowing quickly. I expect the U.S. will be in a very severe recession sooner than later. You kind of go around Japan. They're not in recession, but they're joined at the hip with China. People are saying, "Hey, Bank of Japan's raising rates and easing requirements. Why isn't the yen going up instead of going down?" I said, "Well, because it's joined at the hip with the Chinese yuan. People don't understand how deeply the Japanese banks are entangled with direct foreign investment and other financing arrangements in China. So the yen and the yuan are like, the Gemini twins. Well, the yuan's gone down. Yuan's going to 8. It's going to blow past 8, and sooner than later. and the yen's going to go with it. So look for the yen to go, 150 and higher, meaning a weaker currency relative to the U.S. dollar. So that's a little conundrum, but again, it's a difficulty, it's a challenge for Japan. So, and then who knows what's going to happen this winter? Europe got lucky last winter. We had a mild winter. It was not extremely cold. They sort of muddled through the energy crisis. Maybe that'll happen again. I'm not a weather forecaster, but if we get a bitter cold winter, and there are some indications based on it's not climate change, it's basically solar cycles and polar vortexes. There is some science out there that if we get that kind of winter, Europe's not going to be so lucky this winter.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, do you want to profit from crypto? Then join my DeFi Academy. The Crypto DeFi Academy will help you create generational wealth. But don't take my word for it. Listen to my students.
When I first got into crypto, I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn more. Brian Rose, learning crypto, learning DeFi, gotta do it.
I am so grateful that I jumped in and did this. I had to break through some limiting beliefs that I can do this, that I can afford this, that I can be in this.
It challenges the things that are deeply rooted within us.
Joining DeFi Academy has been one of the best decisions I have made on my blockchain journey.
This course was a life changer, a game changer, a huge eye-opener, coming from knowing practically nothing at the speed of the learning over 4 weeks was just fantastic.
The information you provided in this class was invaluable.
I feel far more confident in my next steps.
You took complex concepts and made them easier to understand.
What's different than so many other ones is it just doesn't tell you what to do. It actually makes you do it.
This is for people who are serious about becoming traders. This is the way it should be done.
I realized from this learning experience again that it is not about what you learn, but about who you learn it from.
The energy was insane. I've never experienced such incredible energy on a live call. Brian Rose, you are a legend, my friend.
It's the only thing in the market where you can get all information and learn everything what you need to know.
Everything is so clear and so well done, and I am just forever grateful for this program.
It made me feel so much more confident about crypto than I did before.
I did not anticipate how passionate I was going to become about it.
It's also been like a big learning experience for me, not just in the crypto space, but just in overall balance of life.
What I've learned is, how to take ownership, of my life in a way that I really hadn't before.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that, really.
I would recommend it to anybody, top notch.
Excellence does not come cheap. So if you want excellence, you got to pay for it, but it's so worth it.
Pull the trigger. That's what this course is about.
You're not going to regret it, really. It's amazing.
Thank you, Brian and team.
So what are you waiting for? Crypto is happening now. Click the link below, submit your application, and let me mentor you on how to create generational wealth and build the decentralized financial infrastructure of the future.